If you're starting a business in 2026, you came to the right place. I'm going to tell you exactly what I wish somebody would have told me before I started my first business. And hopefully I can help you guys not make the same mistakes that I made. All right, so we're going to jump straight into it. And this is probably one of the heavier topics that we'll talk about in this video, and that is funding. Most of you guys are wondering, how in the world do I fund my business when I have no money to fund my business? Like, I got a great idea, I got a vision, the work ethic, I got the drive, but I just don't got the money. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, that's where I was. Being a father, being a full-time worker, being a husband, I just didn't have a lot of money or a lot of resource or even a lot of time to invest in my business because I had other priorities. So I completely understand. What I will say to you is this, and don't let anybody tell you different. You do not need a ton of money to start a business. And I'm gonna be honest with you, because I did have a little bit of extra money when I started my business, I ended up wasting a lot of it because I didn't know what to do with that money. Like, I was so eager, I was so ambitious. I was trying to put money in ads. I was trying to pay people to do this. I was trying to pay people to do that. And at the end of the day, I ended up wasting so much money that by the time we actually launched our business, I was so far in the red that it took me months to get out of the red because I had wasted so much money. And so I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need to do when it comes to money. First, don't worry about the funding. Don't worry about it. The money will come. If you have a few dollars in your pocket and you got a little bit of time, that's more than enough to get your business started. So this is what I did. I did some research and I found out that Shopify had a promotion going on where you could start your Shopify store for just $1. I believe the promotion is still going on right now, and they were doing this back in 2020 when we started our brand. And so I pulled out my debit card, I went on Shopify, I paid that $1, and I opened up my store. And at that moment, I just knew that I was on the path for success. I'm like, yes, I opened up my first store. Unfortunately, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be, but I did learn a lot along the way. My first hassle was that I knew I had vision. I knew I had some great ideas, but I thought, man, how am I going to ship these products out to my customer? How am I going to get these products made for my customer? How am I going to be excellent when it comes to doing things for my customer? And so I did a little bit more digging. I watched some YouTube videos and I heard people talking about print-on-demand companies. So if you don't know what a print-on-demand company is, a print-on-demand company is just a company that will print and ship your products as they come in. So if a customer goes to your website, they place an order, the print-on-demand company will get that order first. They will then take the order, print the order, and ship it to the customer. They'll take their cut out and then you'll get the proceeds of that order. When I found out about this, I'm like, that's perfect. We don't have to be hands-on at all. We don't have to worry about any shipping. We don't have to worry about doing any maintenance. We took this $1, opened up our Shopify store, downloaded the free app called Printful, and then we uploaded our designs to Printful. And then from that moment, we were like, okay, we got all this merch on our website. Where do we go? And so let me backtrack a little, because you guys are probably wondering, well, how did you get these designs? So before I launched my clothing brand, I was actually doing full-time graphic design work as a side hustle, and I was making quite a bit of money. So I was already very fluent with like Photoshop. I was already very fluent in working with Adobe Illustrator. And so it was very easy for me to create my own designs. And I know some of you guys are watching like, well, that's not me. I don't know how to use Photoshop. I don't know how to use Illustrator. Listen, you don't need to know how to use those things. What you need to know how to do is simply be able to open up a editing app, use a font, and type your favorite quote or your favorite sentence. If you look at this sweatshirt I'm wearing now, it simply says, Jesus saved my life, ask me how. When we first started our clothing brand, we simply used phrases like that because the target audience that we work with, they love simple but catchy phrases. And so for us, it was as easy as just typing sentences out or phrases out, and that's how we were able to get our first couple of designs out. Now, if you're a little bit more artistic and that doesn't work for you and you're like, listen, that's cool, but I want something a little bit more artsy, there is another way. And so I know I said in the beginning that money, you don't need a lot of money to start, but money does help if you know how to use it. If you do have some extra money and your designs are a little bit more artsy, you can go on a Fiverr, you can go on a Upwork, and there's a few other places online where you can go and you can hire a graphic designer that can bring your vision to life. The only thing about that, and I'll be honest with you guys, I worked on Fiverr, and so I know how Fiverr works. The only thing that I will be careful about is that a lot of the workers on Fiverr, a lot of them are overseas, and sometimes that there's a communication barrier when you're talking to them and you're trying to let them know what your vision is. Sometimes they don't know how to articulate that well. And so there's a lot of back and forth. Sometimes they make things that you're not looking for. And so you have to be very careful when you're working on Fiverr. What I would say is to just Google like local graphic designers. You'll probably find some in your city. If you look on Facebook Marketplace, you may find some listings from local graphic designers, and look at the art style. Look at the work that they've done. And if that art style and that work that they've done is something that matches your brand and something that matches your vision, then I would say go ahead and hire them. But also know your budget. So if they're outside of your budget, that's something you may have to reconsider too. And this is important. This is important. Listen to me when I say this. Do not just hire a graphic designer and send them your vision. What I mean by that is this. My vision was not always the greatest vision when I started. The things that I thought were hot, the things that I thought were cool, the things that I thought like would sell like crazy when I put them on the website were the products that did not sell whatsoever. They were the products that set, they were the products that didn't move anywhere. I had to learn that I needed to make a few different concepts, and then I needed to send those concepts to trusted individuals, and I would have them vote on different art and different designs and things like that, and then we would take that in as a collective and be able to say, okay, this here is the winning design. And so if you have an idea, send that to some of your closest friends, send that to some of your family and say, hey, what do you think about this design? Like be honest with me. Like, don't say anything just because you're my friend. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me the truth, because I'm trying to start a clothing brand. I need to know if this is hot or if it's not. And so if you don't have the ability to be able to create your own designs, you can definitely hire a graphic designer to be able to create those designs for you. And I'm gonna be honest, for me, I just like doing it myself because it adds another layer to me being able to say that everything is handmade. And that's what my business is based on. We make everything by hand. And so once you get your designs loaded to your website, everything's looking good, website's looking great. And that's the thing too, you don't know how to build a website. I would simply say when you get to Shopify, use one of Shopify's simple, they have some built-in themes. All you need to do is make a couple tweaks here and a couple tweaks there. If you do not know how to do that, then you may have to hire someone to build your website, and then that is another fee. But again, for me, I knew how to build web design because again, I worked as a graphic designer and I also did some website building. So if you are not like me and you don't know how to do those things, you may have to hire a graphic designer. However, again, listen, you have time. Like, don't rush the process. Like, we get into this phase of like, stuff has to happen now. It has to be quick. I'm gonna be honest with you. As a clothing brand owner, if you want something to be quick, you're jumping into the wrong field. Like, this is a slow grind. Like, you have to build this. Like, you have to build this from the ground up. You are going to wear a lot of hats. You're going to be the graphic designer. You're going to be the web designer. You're going to be the ad manager. You're going to be the product tester. You're going to be the photographer. You're going to be the janitor. You're going to be like, you're going to wear so many different hats. This is not for the weak. So if you're looking for something quick, if you're looking for something like a get rich quick scheme, I'm sorry, but clothing brands are not it. Like, this is something that you have to build and you have to make it sustainable. That takes me back to my point that you have time. Learn skills, learn how to build websites, learn how to do graphic design, these are skills that you add to your bag. And so once you get your website set up on Shopify, once you get your designs loaded on the Printful, once you get everything listed exactly how you want it to be. For pricing, I always say price your products based off of what you feel is worth, not what the market is. I base off my products based off of what I think they're worth. There are other websites that sell their products, their t-shirts for $10, $15. We don't. We sell our t-shirts for $27 because I feel like that's what my t-shirts is worth. I make everything by hand. I create the designs. I have to screen print them. I have to press them. There's so many different layers to it. So we charge what we think is fair to our customers. And I would challenge you to do the same, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to undersell yourself, because then you'll end up losing money. There will be some unexpected expenses. You'll sell something on Printful and find out that there were some hidden fees, and now you actually owe Printful money. You didn't make anything off the order. So do your math, do your research, figure out what it actually costs to ship an item, figure out what it actually costs to get the item printed. And then once you have everything down, then I would say, okay, I'll price my shirts at $30. I'll price my shirts at $28, $25, whatever you decide to price your shirts at, but make sure you price them in a profitable range. Your hoodies, your hats, do the same thing for those items as well. You guys got your website built, you got your designs listed, Everything's ready to go. Now you're probably wondering, this takes me to my next point, customers. How do I get customers for my clothing brand? This is not as hard as you think it is. Find a customer for your clothing brand. You can do this right now. Once you get your website going, literally text every single contact in your phone and let them know, hey, I just started my clothing brand, would love if you support me. Some people would say that's begging. Not me. I don't think so. I don't think it's begging. I think that it's building brand awareness, because you have to start somewhere. And the beautiful part is, once you start getting traffic on your website, once you start getting sales on your website, you'll start building data on your pixel. And we'll talk about that in another video, because you actually need to implement that into your website. But the more data that's stored on your website, the better. And it's not just pixel data. We're talking about customer cell phones, customer emails. These things matter and they're worth money. Send to every single person in your phone, all your friends, all your family. And I'm gonna be honest, if you an introvert and you don't got no friends or no family, listen, send it to your Facebook friends, your MySpace friends, your Instagram friends, whoever. Send them to somebody. Most of my orders, I want to say my first 40 to 50 orders, maybe 60 orders came from people that I knew. So my family, my friends, my cousins, my sisters, my brothers, my dad, my mom, everybody that I knew, they knew I had a clothing brand, and I pushed my clothing brand to them because I wanted them to be able to support my clothing brand. And so after we got our first 50 or 60 orders, we at that time had enough money to where we could pivot the brand however we wanted to. This next thing that I'm about to tell you is very important. It's probably something I probably should have said in the beginning of the video, because this is very, very important. You want to make sure you have a business banking account. There's a good one, a really good one that's free to use. It's called Bluevine. I'll put the link in the description of this video, but get a business banking account. It's free to use. You can go into your local bank to get a business bank account, but a lot of the times they want you to have an EIN number. They want you to have tax paperwork and documents from the IRS to open up an actual bank account. And so the easiest way for me when I started was to go on Bluevine, open up a bank account with Bluevine, have my own business bank account. And then from that point, I was able to keep my funds separate from my personal bank account and my business bank account. So at the end of those 60 orders, I knew exactly how much money I had, where the profit was. And so I could then take that money and use that money however I wanted to use it. Have a separate bank account, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to commingle those funds. Because I'm gonna be honest, I did a little bit of that. And that's why I'm like, I need a business bank account, because I had a bill that needed to be paid. I'm like, I got money in the business, or I needed gas. Oh, I got a little money in the business. You really don't want to have those funds be mixed together, because if you're trying to scale a clothing brand, when you're starting out, every single dollar that comes in needs to be put back into the business. So the only way that you'll know if you're profitable or if you're losing money is if you have a separate bank account. And then that way you'll know how much money you have and where your funds are. And so, yeah, our first 50 to 60 customers were people that we knew. And so at the end of those first 50 to 60 customers, we wanted to elevate our brand. We wanted to start sending out custom packaging. We wanted to start sending out custom flyers. We wanted to start sending out like frosted zipper bags and things like that, because we wanted to elevate our brand and take our brand to the next level. We knew that those were some things that we could not do with Printful. We were limited in that when customers placed the order with Printful, we had no idea on what they were receiving. We had no idea on the quality of the item they were receiving. We couldn't put anything extra in the bag. And so we wanted to take full control of our business. And because we had already had funds from those first 50 to 60 orders, we knew that now we could put the ball in our own court. I want to say it took us about 2 months to get those first 50 to 60 just from friends and family. And I'm gonna be honest, this was just like grueling. This was me contacting people, calling people, letting people know at the church that I was at, letting people know who are my family, let people know who are at my job. But it worked. And so after we got those first 50 to 60 orders and we started building some brand awareness and we've had a couple of repeat customers, people liked our product, I knew at that point that I wanted to scale the business. When I started the business, I did not know what it would actually grow into, because I had started other businesses before and they were all failures. And so I didn't expect this brand to grow the way that it did. But at the time, I knew that I had just given my life to the Lord, and that I knew that anything that I wanted to do, that I wanted to do it for the glory and honor of God. And so I knew if I'm starting a clothing brand, I want it to be a Christian clothing brand. And so going into it, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it would work. I didn't know where it would go, but I knew that I wanted to do it and that I was going to trust God with it. We knew we wanted to scale, and we were at a place where we had a little bit extra money. And so I was like, you know what? We're going to try some marketing. We've been doing everything by hand. We have now switched over to printing our own orders. We have switched over to getting custom packaging. And so now we want to scale because we have a little bit of volume. It got to the point where we were printing in our house. We had a ranch style house, a 3-bedroom house, 2-bathroom, and we were printing in our home. And we had so many orders that we were doing in our house that our bedroom was literally stacked full of boxes. All throughout our hallways was stacked full of boxes because we had so many orders coming in. But how I got to that point was this here. I had a little bit of money set aside from the first 50 to 60 orders. And I was doing some research online about how to scale a brand and how to take my brand to the next level. And you got all these gurus telling you to do this and do that, and you'll become a millionaire and you'll make some money and I'm like, okay, so let me try it. So I started putting money in ads. I started reaching out to influencers on Instagram. I started putting money in Google ads and Pinterest ads because this is what the gurus are telling me to do. This is what they're telling me to do online. And before I knew it, this is a true story. Before I knew it, all of the money that we had saved from those first 50 to 60 orders was completely gone. So we went from having a profitable business with our first 50, 60 orders to now we are completely broke. We no longer have the Printful connected on our website. We're printing these orders by hand, and we don't have the money to continue to do this business because I have been listening to these gurus online who were telling me to do my ads this way, and I'm paying for courses, and they're not really telling me what to do in these courses because they're actually making money from these courses. It took me a lot of trial and a lot of error, but eventually I got to a point where I developed my own secret sauce. And I just call it my secret sauce. It's not that I'm withholding information from you guys because I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how I did it. And this will take me to my fourth point in how to scale a business. What you wanna do, and I would do this very, very early on, and you may not even understand what I'm talking about, but watch some videos on YouTube and they will tell you exactly how to do this. I'm just going to briefly walk you through it, but follow me step by step in this. Step 1, you want to go on Facebook and create a Facebook business page for your business if you don't already have one. Once you create this Facebook business page, you then want to go into Facebook Ads Manager and you want to connect your Facebook Ads Manager account to your Shopify account. What this is going to do is it's going to integrate a pixel from Facebook into your Shopify account. You want to do this very early on because what's going to happen is every time you get a sale, every time somebody visits your website, every time somebody browses, every time somebody clicks your link, this data is going to be recorded and is going to be sent back to Facebook. And what Facebook is going to do is they're going to store this information. The beautiful part about it is once you reach 100 sales or 100 add to carts or 100 website views, what then happens is Facebook, you're allowed to make what's called a lookalike audience based off of people who have interacted with your brand. And so it's very important to do this because this is what's going to happen. And I'm going to do a whole series on scaling and on ads and things like that. But I'm going to give you a brief rundown on what needs to take place. Once you are running ads and your ads are gaining traction, or you put a $10 ad, you want to do some tests. When you run those ads, you first start running those ads, you're going to want to create a lookalike audience based off of people who have interacted with your website. See, nobody told me this when I started. So when I first started running ads, I was just running pure cold traffic. What that means is I would take that $10, I would go on to Facebook, and I would let Facebook pick who they thought was my target audience. And so I would try to narrow it down. I would put in like people who listen to like Christian rap or people between this age group and that age group. But when I finished my ads, it would always tell me that my target audience was just still too wide. We blew through so much money paying for ads that just didn't convert. Because I'm listening to these gurus and these YouTubers and they're telling me, hey, just spend $10 a day, spend $20 a day, build that data. And yes, that is good. But in 2026, there's a different approach. There's something else that can take place in place of running those ads to get the data that you need, the same data. And this is gold. If you don't take anything else from this video, take this here. Content creation is not optional. Content creation will make or break your business. TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. These things are a necessity for your brand because it is free and organic marketing. And what's going to happen with your brand is when people interact with your website, when people come onto your website, they click links and they do all these other things. They add their phone number, they add their email. This information is going to get stored on the Facebook pixel. And so if you integrated that pixel and you're posting reels and you're posting content and you're posting stories and stuff about your business on TikTok and all these other platforms, what's going to happen is that data is going to be collected. So you don't even have to go through the test phase. You may have to do a little bit of testing, but because that data is being collected and you have people interacting with you organically, when you go to start running ads, what you can do at that moment is you can create a lookalike audience based off of the people who have interacted with your website. What that means is simply this. If I had 100 people come to my website and place an order, that is the lowest amount that Facebook will take and say, hey, okay, that was the bare minimum requirement. You had 100 people come place an order. Now, since we have that data from 100 people, we're going to take those 100 people and we're going to make a lookalike audience of those same 100 people, but we're going to expand it by thousands. So now Facebook is going to find thousands of other people who look exactly like those 100 people. And that's how you get a defined target audience. And that way you're not shooting in the dark. That way you're not just throwing rocks hoping that they hit something. You have a defined and targeted audience. So just to backtrack and to make sure you're staying along with me, first thing you want to do before you get a single sale, hear me out on this. You want to go on Facebook and you want to integrate that pixel. You want to go on Pinterest and integrate that Pinterest tag. Every platform that you're thinking about selling on or advertising on, you need to make sure that that information is integrated into your Shopify so that that data can be stored. Once that data is stored and you're getting your sales, that is how you scale your brand. And this is a little bit more gold. This is what really took our brand from just doing a few $100s a month till we were doing $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. Then we did our first $30,000 a month. Then when Black Friday and Christmas came, we did $50,000 a month. And this one thing here took my brand to the next level. And I wish I would have knew this a lot sooner because I would have implemented. But again, this is one of those things where it's just trial and error. And people don't really tell you this because they want to sell this stuff in a course. But this is just a little extra nugget for me. My secret sauce was that I found out that Facebook ads, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, well, TikTok wasn't a thing at the time, but Pinterest ads, they are not the end all. People want to learn so bad how to run successful ads to get their business going. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Those ads will only get you so far. As a clothing brand, conversion rates for us are already low. We're not in the tech industry. We're not in the beauty industry. And so for us, the conversion rate is already a lot lower. And so what I learned is, and this was my secret sauce, is that advertising was only one part of a 3-part goal. You want to advertise because advertise is going to spread your reach. But now in 2026, because we have all of these other organic content creation apps, those are also going to expand your reach. And so what happens is when someone comes to your social media accounts and they interact with your Instagram or your Facebook, what happens at that point is the algorithm then picks them up and said, hey, you went over to such and such profile or such and such Facebook. Let's now start targeting you with their ads. What's going to happen when they target you with those ads is they're seeing you on their feeds now. They're seeing you when you post. And so eventually they'll click your website and go onto your website. When they get on your website, this is important. I wish somebody would have told me this in the beginning, and I'm telling you now because you need to know this now if you want your clothing brand to be successful in 2026. Do not let a customer come to your website without getting information from them. You need to get something. You need to get a phone number. You need to get an email. You need to get a name. You need to get something from your customer when they come to your website. You're probably wondering how. How do I get something from my customer? We used a pop-up wheel. And because we knew that customers wanted our product, we had a wheel that simply said this: if you want to win a free t-shirt, or if you want 5% off, 10% off, 20% off, you can spin this wheel. But if you want to spin this wheel, first you have to put your email in and your phone number in. It was an incentive for them. And I believe that, I can't even think what the app is called. I'll look for it and I'll put it in the description. But that app gained me thousands and thousands and thousands of emails and phone numbers And those were valuable, so valuable. In 2021, my mother passed away. That really hit us hard, and we paused and we took some time off from the business. When we got back into the business, we had left our advertising threshold, our bill at a high end, and we couldn't pay our bill off because I'm like, we have been gone for a couple of months. How in the world am I going to pay off this high ad bill to be able to start targeting our customers again? It didn't hit me until this moment, and that's why I believe everything happens for a reason. But I went into our emailing app that we still use today. It's called MailerLite. I'm like, okay, we got thousands of emails on here. We got thousands of phone numbers on here. Customers have shopped with us. By this time, we had shipped out 4,000 orders. And I'm like, we got all of this information. We need to start doing some email marketing. Why have I never done email marketing before? And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and do some email marketing. The first month of us doing email marketing, we made $10,000, no ads whatsoever, purely organic, posted on social media and running email marketing. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh, snap. This is the secret sauce. You need email marketing, you need organic marketing on social media, and you need paid marketing. It's a 3-part trifecta that all works together because now they see you in their feed. They're getting emails from you. They're getting texts from you. It's like they naturally see you as a part of their day. And the funny thing is, when people don't see you, they forget you. That's why brand awareness is so important. But when you become a part of their daily life, when you become a part of their scroll, when they start to see you more, they start to build brand awareness. Oh, I know this brand. Oh, look at these customer reviews. Oh, I see them. Sorry about that, guys. My camera died. But like I was saying, that is a part of the trifecta. Facebook and Instagram marketing, TikTok marketing, whatever you're paying ads for, organic marketing as far as social media and content creation, and then your other option of organic marketing, which is email marketing, text messaging, and things like that. Using those 3 together cohesively is what scaled our brand from making a few $100s a month, taking us to $30,000, $40,000, and even $50,000 a month. So that's the secret sauce. That's it. I'm not on here to hold things for you guys. I'm not one of those gurus that's going to sell you a course. If I do sell you a course, it's going to be very informational, but I'm just on here to give you all the sauce. I'm on here to let you guys know what I wish I knew when I started my brand. And that's it. If you're looking to start your brand this year, just do it. Just do it. Just put one step in front of the other. That was my biggest thing when I started. I was a procrastinator because I kept thinking to myself, man, will people like this? Will people wear this? Is this hot? But like, what if they do? What if they do wear it? What if they do like it? What if it is hot? You'll never know until you actually get out there and do the work. So listen, I know this was a long one, guys. If you stayed with me this far, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment. What did you take from this video? Was it good? Was it helpful? Was it insightful? Did you learn something new? Leave me some feedback because that feedback helps me to grow and it helps me to know what type of content to post. If there's something in particular that you want to see or that you want to know, leave a comment and I'll be more than happy to post it for you guys because I have done the work. My clothing brand has made hundreds of thousands of dollars. We've shipped out thousands of orders. A lot of people get on here and they make these videos and a lot of them haven't sold a single item, but we have. I'm going to be making some videos soon talking to you guys about how we source some of our products, custom products we started making. We started getting hats made. We started getting custom jackets and things like that made. So I'll be making some videos and telling you guys how we find our suppliers, how do we inspect the items while they're still overseas, because that's the thing, knowing how to inspect the items. And we'll be talking about some of those things. So hit that like button, that subscribe button, and follow us. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, Facebook, and help us grow. And so thank you for your support. More than anything, if I don't say this, I got to end with this. If you don't take anything else from this video, take this one thing here. Whatever you do, put God first. If you seek God first, everything else will be added to you. And that's one thing I can promise you. So take care, and until next time. See you guys later.
What is that you have wrong? I don't know. Newerahope.